Hi, I'm Martina. Welcome to Magnetic Clarity. I'm a kinesiologist. I use tarot to explore downloads that will help us cultivate the life we want.
Hi everyone. So today we're going to have a look at more things from the macro collective. We're going to do one main message and then we're going to have 3 separate endings. So your pick a card will happen at the end for your specific situation. If you've already resonated with the message, obviously I encourage you to the end to get some more individual advice, more individual messages, and even set your intentions for the pile that you want to pick. I'm going to start with oils and we'll even start selecting them as we go through. So yeah, if you feel like you're being drawn through the reading to pick a pile, even if it doesn't feel quite related to some of the messages, trust your intuition. Please play with it. It's the strongest gift you have. It's the strongest gift we all have. And we need to start learning to really, do this cardio, this spiritual cardio. And so yeah, let's see what the macro level of the collective message is, and then we'll see what the micro level is for each of you. So yeah, welcome, and let's begin. So let's get the main oil, main message. Okay, thank you. This will be pile 1. Okay, this will be pile 2, and this will be pile 3. Okay, lavender, true lavender. Mother Earth lifts the weights when feeling suffocated, wipes the tears when they fall. Okay. I like doing the readings this way at the moment, so let me know how you go, because I find that a lot of the readings always tend to overlap, and I'm always worried that people might, energy is energy, right? But I always worry that people might miss out on some good nuggets of wisdom in some of the downloads. And yeah, this is a way for me to include everybody and then get some unique advice at the end. I have a little confession to make. The other day or last week, I was just in this, like, I don't know, a funk anyway, whatever you want to call it. Just one of those, moments where I just couldn't get traction on anything I was trying to do. I'd set myself up with great intentions for the day, and by midway through the day, like, the wheels came off. And I was like, oh, I wish I could just, wish someone else could get inside my head for a minute and without me having to figure it out. And I actually became, I don't know if desperate's the right word, but I thought, oh my God, of all the readings I've done, surely there's a message even for me. And not to sound conceited, but I literally went through my channel and I was like, okay, I'm setting the intention. What messages do I need to hear right now? What's going to help me, lift some of my energy? And not everyone, I muscle test, so that's what I do. Sometimes I don't muscle test. I literally do see where my intuition wants to go. So I literally just do some muscle testing. If you don't know what muscle testing is, it's very easy to learn. But yeah, I did. And I swear to God, it was exactly what I needed to hear. And it's not me blowing my trumpet. Please don't misunderstand me. It's just that, sometimes we need to just rework the problem from another angle. And sometimes the universal truths are so simple that we always forget them, but then we just need reminding. So anyway, I digress, but let's see what we have for you today. So Mother Earth lifts the weight when feeling suffocated, wipes the tears when they fall. Meet your co-pilot. Numb. And Ancestor. Oh wow. There might be a reason why I just told you that story. God, energy's funny. As you might be aware, I'm a kinesiologist, so I actually work with clients through a lot of their stuff. And I have a huge toolbox, you know, obviously, but you know, it's like a chef cooking their own dinner. Sometimes you just can't be bothered, right? Or you just get in your own way. Human experience, after all. But when I was in that funk last week, I was like, why are none of my tools working? I just couldn't, like, I just was not getting there for whatever reason. And I literally had to just start journaling and like leave all my tools at the door and just start journaling, because I didn't know what I didn't know. And what surprised me by that process was I actually started to cry about something, and it was ancestor related. It was grandparent stuff, and you know, why have I got this pattern within me? You know, no one else in my immediate family have it, and you know, just going into this whole, you know, diatribe of stuff. And it didn't matter that I was crying. It didn't matter that what the wisdom that revealed itself, because to be honest, it wasn't even that profound. But what I found was when you put yourself in a position to get out of being numb and just cry, like almost schedule crying. And it even made me start thinking that even daily crying must be a good thing. Because you can either get your vibration into tears of joy, where you're so grateful and appreciative for the life that you're living and all the things that have led you there. And that's such a great frequency to have, right? Like, how much embodied frequency would be crying with tears of joy? Like, how often do we do that, right? We're always looking to see the grass where it's greener, right? And then what I found was that when I cried because I was having this like moment of whatever, and yeah, you know, it was annoying, and I'm not a crier, so it even surprised me more. I swear to God, the energy that it was released, it almost catapulted me into a totally different frequency. And I had been lurking around that mood for a couple of days, and I was blaming the full moon, and I was blaming perimenopause, and I was blaming many things. And yet when I sat down and I wrote my feelings out, and as arbitrary and basic and remedial as that is, and we all are told to do that, it was the most powerful gift I gave myself that morning, because by the afternoon, I was back on my purpose, back on my journey. I hadn't even filmed any videos that week. I was like, I just would not put my frequency or my energy anywhere near tarot reading for other people. You know, I only come here when I'm fully zipped up. And yeah, so I feel like maybe that message is for someone, even if it's just one person that might help. Yeah, I think I'm onto something. I think we all need to schedule crying every day in one frequency or another, whether it's to release or to absolutely cry with joy that our lives are so blessed. And yeah, I'm surprising myself to say that, because I've got a long history of never crying. And yeah, interesting that even now that this is, I just remembered this message, you know, lifts the weight when feeling suffocated, wipes the tears when they fall. Yeah, like there's nothing softer than, you know, that lavender kind of feeling, that calming, you know. And I feel like when we are losing our personal messages, you know, like if we can't get our own wisdom online, I feel like we forget that there is a whole resource, an invisible resource behind us that has supported not only our journey up until this point, but we have a shared frequency with all of those people who have lived before us, right? And we came into that bloodline for a reason. So like, wow, you know, I feel like sometimes you just need to channel the concept and forget the ego mind trying to figure out if it's right or wrong, and go with the flow. Because Meet Your Co-Pilot is a card for me that will trigger some subconscious mind at play. Like there is stuff we just don't see about ourselves, and it's kind of that dark night of the soul, or it's even just our own survival patterning. For those of you who aren't in my course, where I talk about, you know, the subconscious mind and its programming, I think I do have a small video on my channel about meeting your co-pilot. So I recommend that you check that out. And yeah, for me, this card is about throat chakra. It's about, you know, getting your authentic voice online, So what is this that's the collective message? Are we not speaking up? What is happening? Are we letting our fears drive the bus? And why are both our eyes closed in these pictures? Because one's numb, and I feel like this one's more empowered. I feel like she has intentionally conjuring up her message. She's seen it through the lens of her clarity, her third eye, and it's ready to be received. So, or to be spoken, or to be given. And then the numb card is, you know, sometimes our strongest message lies within our pain. I feel like our flaws are the architecture of our strength. I say that a lot, but yeah, so what is it that you're not seeing? What is it that you need to see? What is it that you need to crack open? Because a lot of our stories up until this point have all been so intentional and for our greatest good. Now that sounds like words most of the days, but when we really tune into that, when you go back through your life review and you see all those chapters and stories, you start seeing a trending pattern of who you're becoming. And I feel like if everything was just an apprenticeship up until this moment in your life, every day is a new opportunity to share your story. We're all storytellers. So what is it that you need to speak up about? And whether it's just speaking up for yourself, or what is it that you need to let go? Like I said, there's two forms of tears. Tears of joy, where you want to shout and scream and, you know, tell everyone how amazing life is and get inspired and inspire people. And then there's those tears of that, you know, are sitting in that numb vibe, that frozen water almost. And it's like the tears need to release themselves. And yeah, look, let's see what Tarot has to say, because that's a pretty broad and deep message. But yeah, I feel like we always operate between two gears, right? Love and fear. And we want to make sure we're consciously driving the bus to love. Okay, so let's see. We have Knight of Swords, Seven of Swords, Judgment, Knight of Cups, Nine of Swords, the Tower, and the bottom of the deck is Ace of Swords. Bottom of the deck. And while I'm here, I just want to add a card to each pile. I'm intrigued by the Judgment card and the Tower, because they are your two major arcanas in the reading. And it's almost like, you can't make this stuff up. We have this eye and we have these two paths, right? And remember I was saying, you know, whether we're crying for tears of joy or we're crying to heal, to release something. And there's two journeys and there's two of us. But it all leads to, or it's all been divinely given to us. And I feel like when we design to cry every day, for lack of a better expression, like when we're going into it with that intention that we're, whatever shows up, we're going to be okay, we're in balance, we're doing this out of, you know, we're not doing this because we've lost our shit, we're doing this because we know the wisdom and the healing within it. So you're already empowered before you enter this phase. And it's like that self-realization or self-actualization. It's like you're ready to take the road that is needed to elevate myself, because I trust the process, I trust the strength I have, I trust all the stories behind me, I trust my ancestors behind that too. And not only that, not only do I get the wisdom of all of that subconsciously, you know, it's well within our DNA and our cells. Everything in our subconscious mind has all of that knowledge. Every trait between that, every data, past lives, I can go on and on. But you're in the stage of your life where you're like, for me to get a handle on my authentic self, not everyone gets there, right? But you're in that powered state. You're ready to speak up. But there is some friction. And the friction is this moment that, you know, the tower moment. It's like you can live in this moment of numb, 9 of Swords, and a tower moment will come. You know, that is as sure as death and taxes. Tower moments will come because they're for our highest good, and it means that there's been action that we may not have taken ourselves. We've lived in that anxiety too long with inaction, and that sometimes the universe has to like expel that poison for us, and sometimes it doesn't come comfortably, right? And what I'm drawn by is that journey of the Judgment card, and you know, the anxiety of a tower moment. Or you can really do what I've been mentioning, is it's that you have 2 nights, you have 2 offers. You can offer your healing up to the universe and go, okay, I'm gonna approach this with love, and I'm gonna appreciate all the things I see in my journey, all the possibilities, and I'm gonna remind myself daily that I can start going into that gratitude, appreciation, wonderment of the planet, the life we've lived, the knowledge we've learned along the way. And or I can empower myself to look at some of the strikes being some of the dark stuff, some of the hardship, some of the pain and betrayals and the self-sabotaging. It's that I'm gonna now decide that yes, I have some things in my vibration right now that hurt and don't get me anywhere. And you can intentionally start grabbing them, holding them, because you're setting the intention to look at them. You're looking at them consciously. You're looking at seeing what the shudder, the shake, whatever that is, whatever it's distorting your ability to transcend. It's that you choose your mode of operation, right? And what happens is you get that Ace of Swords, that one true clarity. That's so you can let all the stuff that doesn't serve you go. You get your one truth that you get to handle, to hold, and you start taking action with that. You know, that's when you start levitating out of your funk, like I did last week. It's like you grab onto something that's pure and simple, like your own message, and you sing to that tune, you dance to that tune, and you no longer, you know, it lifts that weight of feeling suffocated under the pressure and funk of so many, you know, distortions that we all receive every day, you know, messing with us. Like, we do forget the power we do hold, and it is about retuning into that, right? Anyway, let me clarify something. Let's just see what we can clarify. Let's see what this numb is about. What is this? What's this general funk we're feeling? I can't be the only one, you know, that was, you know, it actually started with me from like the full moon to Lionsgate. I was all optimistic and I couldn't wait to see what was on the other side of that portal. And, you know, I had all the best intentions, and it was like, it zapped me for days, 4 days. Now, I'm sure there's more reasons than I am consciously aware of all of that stuff. But either way, you know, I stand on my soapbox all the time about managing our own energy, managing our own frequency, and I just had to get to work and start drinking my own medicine. So, yeah. Let's clarify. Yeah, so numb. What is happening in the numb? What can you tell us? Okay, so you have Strength, Page of Pentacles, another page, Three of Pentacles and 10 of Swords, right. Man, I'm sure this reading's for me. And I'm sure it's also not for me because it is collective, right? So if you're here, it's because we're mirroring each other, and I will always say that we're sharing a frequency, and yeah, medicine for all. But yeah, I feel like this numbness, you know, all these situations that we've had to build our resilience of is building our strength, you know. And you've got the 10 of Swords here, and following the 9 of Swords here, I feel like you are getting to that stage now where, look, she's even crying, and she's got that eye, which I feel like is, you know, emulating that. Also with the skulls, I feel like that has some, you know, resonance to our ancestors. Like some of it might not all be our pains, you know, but we're carrying it and alchemizing that. So almost like intentionally, when you are in that funk and you're journaling and you're even tapping into some ancestors, and maybe you guys have, some of you guys have, you know, psychic abilities or mediumships, or, you know, I know sometimes it's hard to see our own stuff, or that's what I feel sometimes, as easily as we see it in others. But just trust whatever you're feeling, even if it feels like it's not yours, or maybe it is yours, or maybe it feels like it's better to just, you know, go with it and not overthink it. Trust it. And I feel like you're now seeing that medicine. I feel like she is almost not journaling herself, but she's reading some of her past experiences and realizing what there is to celebrate. And I feel that is those two paradigms, right? Where we're crying for joy or we're crying for healing. What's the bottom of the deck? Yeah, 6 of Pentacles. Yeah, so it's bringing all of that into balance, and there's no shame or blame in any of that stuff. I think there's nothing more empowering than a good strategic cry. So yeah, let's see what it is that you're really wanting to speak up about. What is it that the collective or those who are watching are wanting to speak up about? Okay, 2 of Swords and 8 of Wands. That's what it feels like as well. I feel like you are, like, for some of you, it's that you're just, there's like, look, it's like a blocked chakra here, right? And we're talking about the throat chakra here. But it's this indecision to do it, because I think every part of your being, inside your belly, like in your bones even, that you know you have something to say, and that you're almost afraid that when you do say it, you won't stop, because it's going to reach far and beyond in many places. That there can be fear in that, right? There can be fear in, you know, acceptance, or it could get too big, or, you know, there's like consequences to your voice. But when it has such velocity, I just believe it's divine and intentional and part of the major story. So it's like, don't block yourself. And whatever you're blocking here is part of this. So just delve a little bit deeper into it. Yeah, is there any final message for the collective before we go to the pick a card? Queen of Swords. Queen of Pentacles, the Lovers. Okay. Again, those 2 staircases, those 2 pathways to the light. Either way gets you there. So even if you cry 5 days out of 7 and 2 of joy, it doesn't matter. You're always going to reach the light, and it's going to get you there. There's no preference. One's not more powerful than the other. And I feel like Queen of Swords and Queen of Pentacles, it's like grounding your thoughts, grounding your decisions, and seeing the power behind when you take a conscious decision to eliminate or cut or cull or decide. And also to enjoy the 3D world. Enjoy your life so far, the lessons, the abundance you've collected, whether that's story, love, family, friends, tribe, whatever it is. It's that, you know, we've got so much to be grateful for. And even if we feel we are on the ropes some days, we have full power and throttle behind us. And that can never be denied unless we deny ourselves. So that's the lesson, right? Okay, so I will see you in the piles. We are going to do 3 cards for each pile. And if you want to skip ahead, I will see you in the readings. Okay, you had Rosemary, Wise Warrior, pile 1. Transforms negative power, brings in your inner warrior and the courage to say no. I love it. You've got the Strength card again. You've got 7 of Cups, the Sun, 6 of Swords, and a light grows brighter only by lighting another. Okay, Wise Warrior, Strength. You know, a light grows brighter, lighting another. That is why we ultimately want to have a message to speak, right? We're always here to serve, whether we are consciously aware of that or not. We all came here as a community, as a collective. And sometimes when we keep sharing our perfect life, it's harder for people to resonate, right? And I feel like me sharing my story today in this tarot reading might help one other person. And it's about when you alchemize it for yourself, that's when you can help share that message to others. And so you're speaking from the scar, not the wound. I always feel like, you know, be careful to react when you're wounded or when still bleeding. I feel like that can be a little bit ill-advised. But yeah, a wise warrior is not the wounded warrior, yeah? So you've been building that strength, I think, because this is all of us. We're in 2 minds all of the time, and we just have to alchemize and balance that inner beast out, right? And I feel like that's what you are doing now. It's that you're ready to walk away from some of those pains and hardships. It's that you can see that it's mirrored here with the infinity sign. It's like you're finding that balance. You're putting the weapons down. That's why you're a wise warrior. You don't need to throw the daggers at others and or yourself, even more so. And it's that you know how to alchemize it. And you're no longer looking at a decision you have to make, but you're looking at the possibilities or the things that you already have. It's a gratitude space. It's that tears of joy space, because that's followed up by the sun. And the sun, I mean, she's bathing in the light, right? And that's when you become a wise warrior. And that's when you get to light up someone else's energy when they may need a lift, you know? That's where your skill is. That's where you're taking all of this story, and that's why you have to reach for it. And it's going to unblock this indecision, because no longer are you waiting for the right answer to come along. You've got lots of answers and lots of wisdom to share and lots of messages. And so you don't need to pick. You've got lots. And they'll keep coming. They'll keep downloading. They're downloading because you're walking up to the higher ground, the higher frequency. Lovely, pile 1. I love that reading. And that's all I have for you. So thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit subscribe. Thanks a million.
Hi, pile 2. You have Neroli, number 33. Nice. peaceful light, an energy of wise old soul, spiritual wisdom that is forever young. Ooh, that feels a bit ancestry for me. 33, also angelic. So let's see. 8 of Swords. Trust and act accordingly. Again, another eye, an eye with a heart in it. And maybe even ripples of water, I'm not sure. Maybe I'm just looking for tears now. And then you've got Knight of Cups, overflowing with emotion, which I like. You've got Empress energy, and you've got 8 of Pentacles. You know, the 8 of Pentacles and the 8 of Swords, it's almost like it's self-mastery, but self-imprisonment as well. It's like maybe working really hard for your money, or it's almost like working hard to set yourself free. So whether that is working hard at a project, a goal, a situation, a relationship, maybe it's just the relationship with yourself. Maybe you've been doing this work and it's becoming heavy and you're like, I'm just still not getting traction. I think accept that. That is what it is. Just accept that. That's part of the process too. Because I think the other side of you is that you do lead with your heart. You're overflowing with, you know, positive emotion and seeing the goodness. You're giving birth either literally or to a project. And for anyone that might be pregnant during this reading, just not be mindful, is just to be aware that when you are stressed, you know, the baby can take that on. I mean, it's always an opportunity to flood any of your stress with love in these situations, but to do that always, you know, do that for yourself, not always just for others. This peaceful light seems to be who you are, the essence of you, who you are. And, you know, Knight of Cups is young love and forever young. So it's like you have this energy behind you, and you have this energy to work hard and do it hard and be high achieving. But it's that maybe you don't need to worry too much, that when you harmonize your energy, trust and act accordingly, when, you know, when you do some of the things that we've already talked about in this reading, that there's a balancing. There's a balancing of it. It's almost nurture yourself as well. It's like she's looking at how hard she's working. It's like you looking how hard you're working. It's like your higher self looking at your 3D self going, man, it's okay. Don't work so hard. You're perfect the way you are. It kind of links into that numb energy, right? Where you're almost working out of a stress response instead of remembering who you are and who you naturally are. It's like you're surrounded by love and stars and life and abundance, and it's overflowing. That's your natural state. And I think you just, need to give yourself your own medicine. What you provide for others is exactly what you're needing right now. I do feel that you are being watched. So someone up there is looking after you, watching out for you, trying to signal to you who you really are, and try and remember, because that's part of this energy here, part of your message about getting your traction back. I feel like with the 8 of Swords, the 8 of Pentacles, and the 8 of Wands in the reading, the only one that's missing is 8 of Cups. And it's like, whatever it is that you need to walk away from, whatever is, I feel like your co-pilot is running the show with this sort of energy. It is your fight or flight response. So just be mindful of that. Just see what it is that you're acting out of. Is it trust or is it out of survival? And just tap into this energy. Even just staring at these cards for a minute and I feel like I need to take a deep breath and almost a sip from that cup as well. It's that you are your own elixir, and you're also the elixir for others. There's one other message that's coming through, and it won't be for everyone, but I feel like if you are working for yourself, maybe it is a business, and now you feel a bit imprisoned by what you've built, maybe it's also because you might be, I guess, trying harder than you need to, and remember the essence that actually is your driving force. It's that don't get lost in the weeds of it, and remember your higher power, because that will always trump, you know, the hustle. Okay, pile 2, that's all I have for you. Thanks for watching. I hope it resonates, and I'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit subscribe. Thanks a million.
Hi, pile 3. Okay, you have Pettigrain, 37. Stimulate, brings in the heart and the feelings. Oh my God, you can't make this stuff up. The Empress, okay, pile 2 got the Empress as well. You are perfectly imperfect. Yes, you are. 34, 37, 3. The World, Judgment, and King of Wands. Oh, wow. It's crazy. They've all had eyes. I'm like, what? Another eyeball? I can't. Okay, so, okay, let's start with these 2 cards. Okay, so stimulate, bringing in the heart and feelings, right? So we're also linking that into numb. And, you know, when you're trying to manifest stuff, you have to feel it. So if there's something you've been working on, whether it is your message, your voice, your mission, what you're needing to convict in this life, what's your story that you need to tell? Is there a story you have to tell? Yes, there is. And there always is a purpose to your life. And you know that. You've got double judgment cards as well. So this is a time for awakening. And, you know, sometimes that final hurdle, you've got the World card, right, which is straight after Judgment. Judgment is linking into how do you actually wake yourself up? How do you, you know, really become this person with this authentic voice and this calling, and really, you know, working into it. And that's like the final squeeze of a lemon, right? Sometimes it's the hardest. And with this message, I feel like if you were to bring in that heart and feelings, whatever it is that you still are working hard to do, you know, those last final steps, or those last 5 kilos to lose, or those, you know, just trying to convert sales, or whatever it is that you're trying to work really hard at, it's that a reminder of your natural ability to manifest abundance, and that it comes from an emotional component. It's an attraction point to you, and that means that you need to be in control of your feelings, right? You need to be acting of trust and empowerment and knowing, and that comes with higher guidance, and that's when you need to tune into a higher version of yourself. I mean, you've got like 3 major arcanas just in this final bit of the reading, so I feel like you're at that end. And with the World card, I feel like this voice that you carry, or the story that you carry, has this potential to, like, you know, it's, yeah, I feel like you're dominating your arena, whatever that is, your situation. It's that you're in full control of it, and it's world stage, even definitely a larger audience, and you just have to let yourself off the hook, because you're perfectly imperfect, like we all are. And acknowledging that is when you get that sense of vulnerability. And even if you were in some sort of business and you're marketing yourself, and you're a solopreneur, or you're the actual face of your company, or face of your career, or you're the manager. Or I find this a lot with some of my clients, that sometimes I have this client who is looking for a promotion. She's going to be promoted, and she's, you know, running a team, and there's a bit of a disconnect between running a team and getting them to work with her or for her and inspire them. And there's that old sort of scenario where you feel you have to be perfect to lead a team, but really anyone that is inspired by their leader or their manager is one that they can resonate with. So it's like that you almost need to see some of the flaws in your manager to go, oh, okay, they're human, and that's great too. And it's like that reciprocal energy. Be you, be unapologetically you, be perfectly imperfect, because that 3% that you're not letting others see is the most intoxicating essence of who you are that people resonate with. And that's the part we need to show ourselves more of, instead of putting that veneer over it. So yes, pile 3, you are on form. There's just a little bit of squeeze left to alchemize, and maybe that's part of the original collective reading. Maybe there was messages in that there for you, and I hope this has helped, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit subscribe. Thanks a million.